Hello, I'm Pastor Wright from the Fountain of Praise in Houston, Texas, and also with the Metamorphosis Women's Empowerment Conference. I'd like to thank Tracy Edmonds for this platform through Wright TV, in which we can inspire so many people outside of our church congregations and share good messages of inspiration and hope. Today, I wanted to share with us about the life changes that are necessary when we are moving forward. When we're looking for God to do something great in our lives, we do have to realize that it will take something for us to move. And that something that it has to take is change. In my experience, I've often heard people say that they want to make change. They want to embrace change. But yet, when changes happen, they find themselves in a season of complaint. They find themselves uncertain about what the future might hold, because we are so used to the ordinary, or we're so accustomed to things happening in a certain manner or a certain way, that often when changes happen, it catches us off guard and we don't know what to do. Well, today I hope to share with you a few things that will help you embrace this season of change. First, I'd like to share with you that recognizing the need for change is very critical in this point. This is when you begin to realize or sense that you're no longer fitting into your present circumstance. You know, all of us have visions of greatness. All of us have dreams of becoming something more than what we are in our present circumstance. But yet it seems at some point in time in our lives where this is really sparked. There's something is igniting this, and we are ready to embrace that next place in life. Whether it means changing a relationship, leaving from what was toxic to something that is healthy, or whether it means moving jobs or careers, getting married, getting divorced, or whatever it means in your life at this very season in time, making change is so necessary. So when you recognize the need for change, understand that you cannot do things the same way that you've been doing them and expect a different result. You have to make some changes in order to see different things happen in your life. And so if you're looking for God to help you move to the next level, or to help you come up, or to help you move around, whatever it is that you're looking for God to help you with, you have to embrace change. The second thing that I encourage you to sense is a sense of change is about to happen. That begins on the inside. That happens within, in your character, in your nature, in your very being. And that's when you can't quite put your finger on it, but you know that things are about to be different. You know that there's about to be a transition happening. You know, as I said earlier, that quite often when we get to the place of change, because we are not familiar with what is about to happen, some of us self-sabotage our change. We self-sabotage what our future could be because we don't embrace that change that's about to happen. While I was in London this past summer, we encountered a young man, and he said to us, "Enjoy your journey." And I thought that was so interesting, enjoy your journey, because what he was saying was that as we go along, that we should be noticing everything that's happening around us, because the things that are happening around us and at this very point is taking us to the next place. And so it's hard to know where you got to if you aren't able to look back. If you don't look back, or if you're unable to look back and see the changes that have happened in your life, the transitions, it's very difficult to realize where you're actually going. So sense that change is about to happen, but also recognize the change. And the third thing that I want to share in this segment is don't complain about the change. You know, this is so interesting and so important, because quite often, if we're not accustomed to things happening one way, we think it's just awkward because it's happening different. Well, enjoy it, embrace it, sense it, and see what it is that's happening while you're in the midst of this transitional period, to see what it is that you can learn from this particular season. Sometimes we are in a strange place, and when we're in those strange places, it's important for us by our faith to rely very heavily on God. We have to learn to rely on God when we can't see Him. We have to relearn to rely on God when we can't feel Him. But we know by our faith that God is there. I encourage you this time, in this season of your life, whatever it is that drew you to this broadcast, to find the place that God has for you. If it's a place of change, embrace this season. Our next segment will really cover embracing the season of change. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in for more.